Man with American Legion Post 200. Want to thank him for calling in. Now, we've got, as you mentioned, Glenn, every episode of American Warrior Radio is jam-packed, and we have some incredible guests here in studio. One of the gentlemen you've heard from before, and his company is a wonderful sponsor of AVET Project and everything we do to help our troops and their families. It's none other than Doug Torpy from Frogbones, and you brought your lovely wife Renee in today, so that's great.
I sure did.
Hey, thanks for coming back.
You're welcome.
We have a lot to talk about, and is it amazing how quickly the time flies on radio? It just blows by like it was never even here. So, let's get to brass tacks. Frogbones. What is it? Where is it? How can people find out more about it?
So, we're on US 1 in Melbourne, just between the two causeways. That's Melbourne and O'Galley Causeway. We're an indoor shooting range. We're family friendly. We have a large selection of firearms and accessories. We also have a big indoor, or a big restaurant inside the building.
That's the Double Tap Grill?
Double Tap Grill, yep.
Phenomenal food and very reasonable prices.
Reasonable prices. It's a scratch kitchen. Everything's fresh. We've got one of the best burgers in town.
Wait a minute, so the chefs don't just take the plastic bag out of the freezer and dump it in the fryer? They actually make the food?
They actually make everything from scratch. There's a lot of prep work in that kitchen. The best thing on the menu, in my opinion, though, is the Reuben. It is absolutely fantastic.
I have had it. It is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a wide variety of things they can choose from on the menu.
Absolutely. Gator tail, frog legs. We got chicken tenders. We got the Reubens. We have steak wraps, steak salads. We do ribs. We do just about anything you can think of.
And the neat thing is, it's like a one-stop shop, because if you take the family, what's the limitation on age for a child to go out in the gun range?
So the limitation that we post is 10 years old.
Obviously accompanied by an adult. Accompanied
by their legal guardian. Sometimes we let a little younger. Sometimes it takes a little older. It is subject to change depending on what we determine as a correct age to let them on. Okay,
so the family can show up, have a nice lunch. What are the operation hours?
We're open 10 to 9. We're discussing opening a little bit earlier during the weekends. We've had a lot of traffic early mornings, Saturday and Sunday, and we're thinking about a 9 o'clock opening time coming soon.
So then they could stop and have breakfast?
Yep.
You have a breakfast menu right now?
Not yet.
Just
another thing that we're talking about right now.
Growth. But the neat thing is there, Glenn, you can take the whole family and make it a family day.
Yeah, and I bet they'll have some eggs on the breakfast menu.
Eggs are great for breakfast.
So you stop in there with the family, you have a nice lunch right now, and then you go over to the range, and it's all in one building. It's so well done, everybody. They can visit online, right? Can they take a look at some of the facilities?
Frogbones.com.
Frogbones.com. Have your lunch, go over, you're passing through a phenomenal facility with everything from archery equipment to guns and
knives and all your hunting accessories. Just about anything you could come up with, we've got it.
And good prices too, because I've already heard the comment that they could go to Walmart and buy their ammunition, but it's almost the same price at Frogbones.
I have right now I've got MagTech 9mm on the floor at $219 for a case of 1,000 rounds. It comes out to $11 a box. That's
pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive price. I can't really find it anywhere online any cheaper than that. So.
Well, and there's an advantage to buying your ammunition at the range there because you get longer on the range. Is that correct?
That's correct. If you buy the ammunition from us, even if you buy it in the case and you take it home and you bring it back, we don't track your hours on the range. So it's one price to get on. You don't pay any extra for any extra time past that first hour.
Pretty impressive. Obviously user-friendly. Tell us about the range. You have two separate ones.
Two separate ranges. We've got a 12-lane, 15-yard range that we allow pistols and pistol caliber carbines. And then we have a 6-lane, 25-yard range that we allow shotguns, rifles, pistols if you choose to. It just may be a little louder in there with the high-power rifles.
I had a friend ask me, can you shoot an M1 Grand on the range?
You sure can. We allow up to the power class of a 308 or a 30-06, so a 30 caliber non-magnum rifle and down is allowed on the range.
So all you military folks that have your 7.62 rifles, you're right there.
Yep.
Okay. And what about some of the other programs you have? Because I want to talk about how you're helping AVET Project here for a second, but if somebody comes in there and they've never fired a firearm before, first of all, the staff is very welcoming. The place is beautiful. It's so well done. And the staff is very welcoming. Not like these, I'll say it. Going to some of these gun ranges, it's like if you don't buy the ammo from the old man behind the counter, he gives you this dirty look. He says, how do you think I make my living? I go into Frogbones, it's a very welcoming atmosphere. So a novice shooter, maybe somebody that hasn't and wants to learn about self-protection through firearms, what can you say? What do you do?
So we've partnered up with Florida Firearms Training. We have courses available. We have intro to firearms classes. We have concealed weapons classes. We have ladies only classes. We even have a
That's a good thing right there, because sometimes women are intimidated if they haven't been around firearms.
Absolutely.
And to be able to be around other ladies that are basically starting from the same scratch.
Yes, we also have a Girl and a Gun club that meets in there. I think the second or every other Thursday they meet in there. They have dinner. They go shoot on the range. They have a fantastic time. So that's a cool group to get involved with if you just want to hang out and shoot with other women.
Very nice, very nice. So you offer a lot of classes. A novice should feel comfortable going in there. What about if they're just looking for a handgun? You're going to walk them through what they need and what the selection is?
We have about 1,000 guns right now to pick from. So.
Wow. And you got a special Kel-Tec program as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Kel-Tec provided us with, of all their popular models of firearms, and they have quite a few that are very popular right now. It's an absolutely free rental. You come in, you say, I would like to shoot that Kel-Tec weapon. You do have to purchase our ammunition in that situation, but there's no charge to rent the gun, go out on the range. If you want to come in and pick out another one, or you want to switch through all of them, that's fine. You can test every one of them, and then we usually have them in stock for you to take home that day too.
Of course, yeah. It's kind of like a test drive, Glenn.
Oh yeah, that's great. and what's the length on the rifle ranges?
It was 25 yards on the rifle range.
Okay, thanks. I got to ask that question too, so I'll be armed when I go back now.
Yeah, and another thing that I have to stress is the ongoing support that Frogbones has made for AVET Project to help us help them, meaning our military family. We had a phenomenally successful shootout in November, and we're going to be doing one again in March.
Yep.
March 6th. You can find out more about that by going to the website, avetproject.org, or the Facebook page. All the information is going to be up there. It's very limited because we keep it to a small group size of about 25.
Yeah, last time I think we ran till almost 11 o'clock. That was
that was
a lot of fun, but
we learned, right? We learn as we go. But it's going to be a fun time, so keep your eyes on that. Also, the fact that we're talking with Doug Torpy from Frogbones Family Shooting Center. You have provided AVET Project as a door prize, a way for us to help raise some money. Free annual pass.
Yep, one free annual pass, which is good for the named person and up to 3 guests on the pistol range.
Wow.
Or 1 guest on the rifle range anytime. It doesn't have to be any specific guests. You can bring different people every time you come in. You also get a 10% discount on range ammunition. We do have...
With the membership, 10%?
Yep, and we give periodic discounts on firearms. I've got a Sig Sauer P938 that will be offering a $50 to $100 discount on with an annual pass. And then we give a half-price draft beer or wine by the glass. That's after you're done shooting.
After.
Nobody's getting on the range
After
if
you're
you've been
done shooting.
drinking.
That's
Nobody's
correct.
getting on the range. Well, and the value of this?
That's a $3.99 item, and we do sell quite a few of those. It's been a very popular thing for avid shooters.
Well, we appreciate Frogbones' generosity, and we're going to put that on the auction block tomorrow, folks, at the big Valentine's Day event. Doug, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing and your continued support. And we're going to have you back in here because
Sounds good.
we never have enough time to talk about everything. But real quick, people complain, one item, and it's the parking. You got a solution for that. We got about 30 seconds.
Okay, we do have a solution for that. We're looking at putting a parking lot in right behind the building. We've actually closed on a couple pieces of property back there. It should add about 41 spots and really, really free up the neighborhood from the congestion of all the cars.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
You're a problem solver. I like that. Again, Doug Torpy from Frogbones Family Shooting Center. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
be talking to you down the road. All right, Glenn, we got to move on because we've got another in-studio guest here. Since we're talking about the big Valentine's Day, by the way, you heard that. that this free annual pass valued at $400, and the value is far more than that.
Oh yeah.
But that's what the cost is going to be available as a silent auction item at the Valentine's Day event. So there's another reason for you to go online to avetproject.org, click on the events tab and buy your ticket, and then show up tomorrow at the Doubletree by Hilton, Cocoa Beach Oceanfront for the big Valentine's Day brunch and jazz. Speaking of jazz, guess who we have in the studio? None other than the leader of Brevard Brass, which is going to be your entertainment tomorrow for the Valentine's Day event. None other than Jim Malucky, who also owns and operates Forensic Accounting Services. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's our pleasure, because you are really donating your time. This is phenomenal what you're doing.
Well, there are
And you actually
five
know
more
how
of
to-
us.
There's 5 more of you, but you're the representative. You're the leader. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
okay.
they're all listening, by the way, in there.
Sure they're not. One of them doesn't get up until 11. Who are you kidding?
You better be up early tomorrow. I mean, if we have to put a reminder call
We're going to
in.
go after him. So I'd like to, if I may, if I have any friends out there, the 3 of you that are my friends, they'll appreciate this. Jim Malucky on talk radio, and they told me you had 10 minutes. Okay, stop laughing. Anyway, so here's the shameless 30-second self-promotion. I am a CPA licensed in the 11th District, which is Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. I'm a CPA. We have our own practice. We're in our 13th year. We do tax returns. We do trust returns. We do not-for-profit returns, if it's appropriate. So small business tax returns. So when I say forensic accounting services, people think, okay, dead bodies in the backyard.
That's my first thought.
We have a few left over from the shooting range that kind of misbehaved, so we parked them out back. But anyway.
What is forensic accounting?
So I do, forensic is accounting in a legal setting. So damages, who took the money, where'd the money go, business valuation, litigation support. These are kinds of things that is my personal specialty. I'm a forensic accountant, certified fraud examiner, in addition to the credentials that I hold. But I don't want to mislead people. When they see that sound out front, they just don't realize, well, we're a general accounting firm. We do small business and the bookkeeping and the payroll and all those things that you would need. And for our veterans, I think we have something that we've offered. Boy, I'll tell you what, you have to talk to my marketing director and wife. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Call
Shout out to
the
Leanne.
office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5-ish. 722-0882, 722-0882. And I do know there is a discount from your prior year tax return. Whatever you paid, you bring in.
Hold on, I'm trying to write your number down, and you went too fast for even me. How's anybody out there in American Warrior Radio that has a paper and pen in hand? Nice and slow. Area code 321.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm writing it down.
722.
Yes, sir.
0882.
Okay, 0882. Okay, continue. We want to hear.
So anyway, call Leanne and she'll tell you what the discount off your whatever you paid the prior year. She's going to tell you we're going to take so many millions of dollars off to whatever you paid. And I'll cry, and I will. She already told me once. I'm not going to repeat it on the air, but she told me I did cry. But we mean it. So we want to support AVET Project, which brings me to Brevard Brass. So what I do when I'm not doing my accounting work and my forensic work, I have a passion. My first stage performance, I was 5 years old, and I did the narration for the Christmas story. And shortly after that, they said, stop talking.
So you picked up the horn.
Well, yeah, my brother gave me one. That was his solution. So we have 6 of us. We have several military connections. Our drummer is a former Navy fella.
Outstanding.
He was a submariner, and he's just as that's Johnny Trapset Rojas, and you just have to know Johnny to know how wild a submariner can be, or something like that. Maybe he was on a destroyer. I lose track. And then my guitar player, Bob McComb, is retired Air Force. My connection is the Army. My father was 21 years regular Army, fought in World War II, and you're thinking, well, what does that have to do with Jim? Well, I was a civilian KP in my first job for a paycheck at a Class A mess hall. For those of you that know what a pots and pans man was, I are one. I still do pots and pans, but I don't like it.
Okay, so let's talk real quick about the Valentine's Day. You're going to be there with Brevard Brass playing away. How about a little sample for our audience?
Well, okay, so
This is what you don't want to miss, all right?
well, we'll give it a rip here, and we'll
Let's
see if
see
you
what we got.
recognize this tune from Louis Armstrong's book,
We got about 30
1928.
seconds, Jim, so give us a little taste.
There you go.
I love it.
We have more.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So it's a 5-person...
Six.
Jazz
We
band,
have
6.
vocals. Ellen Little on vocals, and Russ Shad on bass, and John Babb on saxophone. And I think that fills out our group. We do standards, jazz, blues, party music, Norwegian wood. Come on down and hear us do some Beatles.
Exactly, at Valentine's Day, that's the Brevard Brass Band going to be performing all day long. It's an incredible event. You're going to find out more about Forensic Accounting, Jim's business, as well as Brevard Brass by visiting avetproject.org. Folks, don't go anywhere because Joanne Ivan's segment, Journey of the Spirit, is coming up after the break. We'll be back in just a moment.